Hi guys, I've recently unboxed this Glock feldmesser fm78. It was developed by Glock for the Austrian Jagdkommando, and Jagdkommando is a special forces kind of unit, a small unit for dispatch missions or special operations. And the overall length of the knife is just above 11 inches or 290 millimeters, and the length of the blade is about 170 millimeters, or it's 6.5 inch blade. The material of the handle and the sheet is a polymer, so it's a plastic handle and a plastic sheet, and you can open it and lock it in without taking your belt off with this thing right here. Now to the more information which I haven't seen around on the internet. The steel is a 1095 high carbon steel. It's a spring steel that is not rust resistant, and therefore the blade comes oiled. And if you look at the edge geometry on the knife, you have a big primary grind and then a smaller secondary grind, and the primary grind is pretty steep. It's a 17.5 degrees grind, and the secondary edge, that is pretty hard to measure with this device, but I reckon it's about a 30-degree secondary edge. There are some, in my opinion, minor flaws with the grind. This is a cheap knife, it's a 30 euro knife, and the overall quality is very good, so these are not deal breakers. Some people say that it's intended for throwing and therefore it has a blunt tip. Well, it does have a blunt tip and a slightly asymmetrical grind. It's ground all the way up here and not all the way on the other side. So I'll fix that, because I'm not gonna throw a knife, because you don't. And there's also a small asymmetrical grind. The grind doesn't go exactly the same depth on both sides. That really doesn't matter, but there's a slight flat spot from here to here, maybe 5 millimeters of a flat spot, and that is the area where you have the most power while working with the knife. So that is actually a quality flaw. I brought this one out of the box and I gave it about 20 runs across my strop with the red jeweler's rouge. So now it cuts. It cuts decently. I wouldn't expect this knife to be any sharper. I mean, that is the behavior of a good quality knife. It's currently used by the Austrian and the German army, and also by the Danish army. And in the Danish army it has a different name. It's known as the Feldkniv M96 or M76. And what I'm gonna do with it, I'm gonna give it a slightly sharper secondary edge, take it down to maybe 25 degrees, have the edge meet up right down to where the edge forms and also give it a good tip. My hands are, most people around me have larger hands than me, and I think they might be below the average. I have a 22 centimeters reach, a glove size 9, and it fits me nice in choked up position, and it fits good this way, but there's still much more room back here. And like this, it's actually a tad too big for my taste. I like pretty sleek handles. It feels like I get more control of the knife. Some people like big handles, I like slightly smaller handles. I'll give you some measurements so you can compare it with knives, round handle knives you have home. It's a 9 centimeters, or I don't know if you can see that. It's 3.5 inches, just above 3.5 inches. So my overall impression is that this is a good buy for the money. You get a good quality steel, strong 5mm back, nice functional grip with a stealth that is secure, locks in secure and comes out easy. Some people have complaints about this, that it takes too much power to get it out. I actually don't want to open it up. Oh, now I did open it up with one hand. But I think it's good, because I only know about 2 people that have hurt themselves badly on their knife. And one of them was a military officer who did a combat role, which did not have this type of lock on his knife. So then as he turned around, the knife slid out, wedged against the ground, and then came in underneath his ribs. And he was actually transported to the hospital with the knife still in him. And another guy, totally different kind of knife, a hunting knife, but with a leather stealth or leather sheath, threw it in the back of his truck, and a friend came and sat on it, and it also got stuck in the seat and pushed it way into his thigh. So a hard polymer sheet with a nice lock on it, I think that is good for a knife this size, and if you're gonna keep it razor sharp. So yeah, so you don't hurt yourself. And if you find it hard to open, well, maybe this is a too big knife for you. Maybe you should have a Mora Scout or something like that. So what I'm gonna do with this, I'm gonna fit the lanyard on it, and I'm gonna give it a sharper grind and take away the blunt tip and make the edge go right down to where it's supposed to go. Thank you for watching. Bye.